Welcome to the Drum Mantra Podcast. I'm your host, Rich Stitzel. Here we believe greatness happens by design through focused, intentional practice. Each week we explore the philosophy of progress, the theory of teaching, the strategy of business, and the mindset of mastery. Let's dive in.
Even when you're into it, right in between or in the middle of the exercise, I realize there's things happening, thinking that I'm, for example, when it came to the accents on 3, I was trying to put the hi-hat on 2 and 4 because we have those slap sounds in the soundtrack.
Right. Uh-huh.
Oh, and yeah, to have like some that stabilize it, to have a mark where you at.
Yeah.
Because I normally try to still try to just do the left foot, the quarter notes with the left foot.
It's hard. All of it's hard. All of it requires your full attention, which is awesome. That's what I like about these things. You really have to you have to be right in it. Although I do find myself venturing into my delusions of grandeur. I'm like performing this on a stage for the hundreds of people.
Yeah.
I was wondering what this would sound like if it was more like a heavy metal gent kind of thing. I don't listen to that stuff at all. But I was thinking, man, if it was like you know, that kind of thing, but playing the exercise, it might be like, whoa.
One day I will force my guitar player to do so. So I already told him, so time will come that we do like some real polymetric, and he needs to figure out something cool with it.
Oh.
And him, you will see. That's...
Listen to you, man.
Maybe it's my April I will statement, because I still didn't do it. So I will one day. I will.
That's funny. You're telling your band, someday maybe we can do some real polymetric stuff. They're like, what are you talking about? Wow, man.
Well,
yeah.
he's like very excited about this stuff. So chances are good.
Cool. It just, I mean, especially in an original band situation where you're allowed to do anything you want, having this knowledge of like deeper rhythmic structure, you can really make your music super interesting. Yeah. And it's fun and it educates the audience. That's what I like. You know, playing at a high level, the audience is receiving like really high level smart stuff, and it helps their brains too. Like us doing it, I mean, our brains are like, you know, Superman level thinking because we have to concentrate so much. But audiences usually, you know, a lot of people who are just fans of music, sometimes they don't know exactly what they're hearing. They just go because it's got a snappy beat and they want to just have fun and tap along. But if you do something accessible but also kind of deep, I think that's how I believe we as drummers can help kind of change and heal the world, you know, because we can make people go, oh, I'm going to slow down and look at the deeper level to everything that happens in life. And this is how we express it. This is how we are beacons of light, by being really good at something. And that inspires everyone else, hopefully, to want to go be really good at something themselves. That to me is the whole underlying reason for doing all of this. You know, we think it's to be in a band, or we think it's to be able to play a fancy drum solo. But the deeper thing is, how are we affecting everybody that experiences us?
Yeah.
That's a big one. And then when you get your band on that same page, whoo, they don't have to think that they're beacons of light to heal the world or anything. But if they do, that's awesome.
Maybe they don't think.
But getting into just the technical part of it
Yeah.
makes the music just that much more interesting. And the problem about knowing these kinds of things is it makes music that you loved before maybe become a little bit more mundane sounding.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
I
still
mean,
there's still spirit in great music has that spirit in it. Like the Rolling Stones, nothing they do is hard, but man,
no.
the vibe that they get when they're playing together is just like, ooh, how do you make that sound and feel so good? Same
Thank
with,
God there,
mhm,
thank God there are things that you just can't explain or catch. You know, that's the vibe or the soul of music.
right.
So it does not always have to be complicated. So
No.
that's and we also in the band we remember always like, okay, man, this is some very basic stuff we do now, but it's just got a certain vibe to it. So
Yep.
I like both sides. I mean, if it's very complicated, sometimes there is a lot of songs that I was about to figure out what the hell is going on
Right.
there. But sometimes it's okay. I just can't get it.
I
It's
absolutely 100% agree. Yeah, absolutely. Bob, do you have something to add to that?
No, but no, I'm just fascinated by the conversation that Rich, I mean, you too, with your level of awareness, that you're still listening to songs that you can't quite isolate what's going on. I mean,
Oh yeah. There's a record.
really?
There's a record that I've listened to literally dozens, if not 100 times, and I'm like, I even had the drummer from that record on my old masterclass series and asked him questions about what he was doing, and I still don't understand it.
Wow.
Yeah,
But you have confidence that he did.
he absolutely knows every
Yeah.
bit of it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Tigran Hamasyan is the artist
uh,
that I'm talking about. He's an Armenian pianist, and his stuff almost sounds heavy metal, but it's also like deep jazz. He
Mm.
won the Thelonious Monk
Wow.
composition award when he was like 17.
Oh my
This
God.
pianist, he's a genius,
Yeah.
and the band, the drummer is from Swiss. He's Swiss, and he like won this huge award when he was 16. They're in
yeah,
their 30s now, but they were like,
Wow. Yeah.
high level players early on.
Yeah.
But the record Mock Root is one of the most mind blowing things I've ever heard. It just, have you heard it, Michael?
uh,
Mock Root.
yeah. We I think you mentioned that name several times back in other meetings.
Yeah,
So I looked that up, and that's cool. Yeah,
it's
that's amazing.
it's it's so hardcore, so above my brain. But I've probably said this story before about the guitar player Andy Timmons. He's a really well known rock jazz guitar player in the States, and he's talking about a guitar solo and the audience's response to it. Have I said this story before?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not to me.
So he's talking about this guitar player playing a solo and how the audience was responding. And he says, I heard a lot of wows, but not a lot of yas.
Mm.
Uh, you know that mentioned that.
Uh huh.
I,
Oh
and
yeah, you did. Yeah, in the past.
I
And
told my bandmates. That's
uh-huh.
what I told them.
Yeah. Right?
So
Because wow is you're hearing things with your brain, and yas you're hearing things with
Yeah.
your heart.
Yep.
And that's why when you listen to Zeppelin or the Stones or Pink Floyd, it's a yeah. And when you listen to Frank Zappa, it's a wow. Or if you listen to fusion music, it's usually a wow. And
Yeah.
where do you? And both are great and both are important. But what's your intention behind what you're doing? And as long as you always know what it is, and what's triggering it. Like, if all of a sudden you're going, I want to get a wow out of everybody, what is that that's saying that? It's your ego going, I need some,
Yeah.
I need some attention.
Yeah.
Probably is.
And so then we have to make that decision of, am I playing music from the right space? It's all legit, right? It's all
Yeah.
okay. I mean, you wouldn't have David Bowie playing from his ego. I mean, all his stuff was like, look at me, but it was also like art, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was art.
Yeah.
So
What's up, Tim?
Hey, y'all.
We're having a very deep discussion right now.
The power is out where I'm at, and just been a crazy week, but I'm glad I'm in. So
The power's out right now where you are?
the lights just came on. I had sent a chat, not a chat. Well, I guess to you, yeah.
Oh, you sent me a message? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now.
No. Yeah, this is late, but anyway,
Oh,
glad to see everybody.
Good to have you here. We're talking about the importance of the intention behind what you play and what space that's coming from. Are you trying to serve? Or are you trying to get attention? Playing from your head or playing from your heart? Those kinds of concepts.
Yeah.
And the Andy Timmons, you know Andy, the Andy Timmons quote where he talks about this guitar solo and the audience responding, and he says, "I heard a lot of wows, but not a lot of yas."
Hmm.
You ever heard that quote from him?
No.
I think I'm the only one that ever heard him say that, because no one that even knows him ever has heard him say that. It's the
I'm glad
weirdest
you
thing.
did.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like, are you hearing things and saying "wow," which is like your brain is going, "Wow, wow, what am I hearing?" Or is it going, "Yeah," your heart, your soul is going, "Yeah, man, this is grooving. This is deep."
Yeah.
And it's not that one is better than the other, but the important thing is
When.
to know where you are at all moments in your playing,
Mhm.
and always trying to keep your connection to the band and to the audience clear.
Yeah. That's if I can. If you reminded me of something Chris Coleman did. He was playing for somebody. I forgot who it was, but it was a commercial, like a pop guy. And Chris can go. Y'all seen him just like blow over. But what he did in that moment, and for his solo, was a real flam-tastic. Not flam-tastic. Let me take that back. It was a very accessible solo, right? Doom, doom, ga go, doom, da da da. Four on the floor, Louis Bellson, type of thing. And the crowd went nuts. He was in it. I think he did 8 bars or whatever it was. It wasn't very long. But he connected as much as he could blow. He connected with the audience and where they were, and I thought that was kind of very connected of him. He knows what that audience, that typical audience will receive,
Right.
and he kind of dialed it in. I can't remember if he really spoke a lot on that, but I did notice that, hey, he's doing this. I don't know what you call it, era, 70s era type of, drum solo, but something that, with the rest of the music that he was doing, connected with that music.
Yeah.
More so than him just going way out, and then, like you said, having the wow factor. Really, it kind of it would set them a different page than the path they were already on with the song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought that was really, really interesting, and kind of telling on where his head was.
Yeah.
So you're saying too that I think that they're really responding to the moment. So it is, I mean, improvisation in some sense, or maybe a structure around it, but they're really I mean, I wonder about that. I listen to or go and see somebody like the Stones, and I wonder they do a tremendous amount of rehearsal before they go out on tour. Um, are they really responding each night to the mood and that particular audience? Is Charlie Watts or Steve Jordan changing things up, still within the structure, but going for a yeah some nights and a wow some other nights?
I would say, or this is the way
Yeah.
I took it. When I'm like, okay, tonight I'm doing a tribute thing for Little Big Town, and if they give me a solo, I don't know if they will or whatever. It's whatever. But if they do, I'm going to stick with stuff that is in that pop country type
Mm-hmm.
thing. I'm probably not gonna do some kind of like Buddy Rich,
Yep.
just because it will disconnect from the momentum of what the room
Yeah.
is. And I think when you have somebody like a Rolling Stone, use that example. Rolling Stone audience is one place, is a Rolling Stones audience every other place, because they
Yeah.
love the music, right? And so they identify with that style. People who listen to them also listen to um, probably the Beatles, probably um, some other rock and roll thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they might, if they're really out, they probably listen to Zappa. You know what I mean? But it's still in a rock thing. So you may have freedom. Like if you decide to make choices, you got freedom. In my estimation, you got freedom to make certain choices that are going to identify with that crowd
Mm-hmm.
that show up. You know, um, man, I know you're going to hate this, but Keith Carlock.
You can't have a conversation about drumming without saying that name.
Apparently, uh, um, but if you listen to his stuff with Rudder, his own band, there even still stuff, but or Krantz, or I forgot who else he used, but anyway, Osno or whatever, and then you
What?
listen to
Wait, Bob's writing this down. Wayne Krantz, Krantz, Rudder. Those are two
Mm-hmm.
great ones to listen to for him. But yeah, go ahead.
and the stuff that he would most likely do. I don't know. This is getting to the weeds a little bit, because he might do some of the same stuff on Rudder as he does with Steely Dan and his solo.
Yeah,
But I think that's because of his style, his way of doing it is accessible. Accessible. Like he's not doing stuff that you can't follow. As busy as he is,
right.
he wants to be. Um, I would say I bring up Chris Coleman early because of that example of me seeing him do that. But he's probably, I mean, he can do anything.
Yeah.
You know, and he can lose you if he wants to, and he can keep you on if he wants you to. But he can also keep you on and simplify where you can identify with a chant type of thing. If he knows the crowds, doom da go go da 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 da, or whatever, he can get them riled up and repeat stuff. And that idea of, okay, I'm gonna take people on a repetitive thing that gets them ginned up this way, and they're gonna be excited. Now I got this vibe going on, which leads back into the song. He
Mm.
he continues. Rich, I know you probably talked about this, and I've heard other people talk about this. You never want their head to stop moving.
Hmm.
And if something takes you off that page, you might want to reconsider or understand you have more options than to go out.
Hmm. Man, you popped in and just jumped into this conversation perfectly.
I love this stuff, man.
I know you do. That's so
Yeah.
great. That's so great. Well, you missed my comment earlier saying I swore that I would never play a blushta in public. Oh, Because
That's
that's a
perfect.
lick to me. That's a chop. That's just plugging something in. It's not. It's never been my creative voice to go, oh, I need to hear it.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a chop I've learned. Now I'm going to plug it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not the way my brain functions.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to be able to do it and
Yes.
understand it's how it works. But then does it make its way into your creative expression? Not mine.
Right. Yeah.
So there's that. There's so much. I love that we're all being so thoughtful because people think drummers just like to bang on things.
Yeah, that's what they think.
That's what they think.
That's what they
Well, we probably should do a little practicing since you came in here and we're just talking. We just did a really great exercise. I'm almost tempted to just do it again.
Maybe we need to do a chess talking meeting someday.
That'd be so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Maybe we could have cards and just pull up a topic and just like, okay, let's see how well we can do with this one.
So many topics.
Would you guys like to do that, what we just did again? Or do you want to move into other territory?
The reading stuff.
The reading thing that we just did. Or do you
I'm
want to go
fine
to
Well, I need to.
get
So
another, or we can go into 20th note stuff. Tim, what do you want to do?
Oh, whatever y'all, I'm game for whatever y'all are doing. I came in so late.
Bob's going to weigh in here.
No, no. I either way. I mean, I'm perfectly fine doing it. Again.
I would
That-
like to
that's-
do it. You know, we've never done that. I mean, this is what real true practice is. Like,
yeah,
just because we did it once doesn't mean that we've perfected it. So now we have another chance to do it. Okay,
let's
so
go melt. Let's go melt our brains.
let's melt our brains one last time
Yeah.
before Easter. We got to hurry up before the bunny melts. Okay, so Tim, what we're doing here is the 3 bars of 4/4, 10 different accents. You've done this page, I think, or something similar. Reading with the right foot. You have the option to do left foot as quarter notes or 2 and 4, beat 3. I did dotted eighth notes last time. It was really hard. I'm going to do it again. And I also did doubles, so you can do any sticking you'd like. Each line we do twice, so 1 1, 2 2, 3 3 for all of accent 1A. And then when we go back to the top, we go to accent 1B and do twice each again. That makes sense? Right. Back for more. Here we go. All right. Get any better the second time through? How's that for you, Tim?
Good. I'm better doing that than normal. Although I had just a syncopation lock up with my foot, but I worked that out.
The what part?
Toward the end, just making it all work together, but it worked out.
Are you playing 2 and 4 on the hi-hat?
No.
Oh.
I left that alone.
Yeah.
They-
I'll leave that there.
It's just like, some days I can do, others, and this morning though, bro,
It's different every time. It's different every time. We think, just because we've played something perfectly once doesn't mean that tomorrow it's going to be that way. And
Yeah.
It's never really, probably never actually perfect. But it's like, I always compare it to yoga. Like the rare times that I do it lately, all of a sudden your left hand's tired, and then you do the same thing the next day, and it's the right side of your body. Things move through your body, and same with drumming. It's such a physical thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes our feet don't want to do it, or we're sleepy and we can't concentrate, or whatever. Yep. Well, okay. Good work. Good practice. Good session. I'm tempted to turn the talking part of this into a little podcast. Because it was nice.
I'd love to be on it if you want to do it. That would be fun. I'd love doing it.
Cool. Well, I might just take the audio straight from what we just talked about, because some great stuff. Last week, Michael and I had a meeting, and I actually turned our whole meeting into a podcast episode. You can actually hear us having our conversation. It was good. Thank you so much for listening to the Drum Mantra Podcast. Your time and attention are truly appreciated. If you're enjoying the show, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a rating, and share it with anyone you think would enjoy going deeper with their practice. Take care, and I'll see you next time.